just
Yeah.
play after play. It's Ben dropping back, and it's Switzer for 3 yards, and it's the screenplay, and that's another one with the AB, the trick play when he misses wide open. Was that to Juju or is that to the trick play? It was a screen pass. They kicked it out to AB. AB throws it downfield completely wide open and misses. I don't know if you recall that play.
I'm not sure, but
it was in the first quarter, and it was a great play design, and they just miss it. But it's just you need to get the ground game going, and not giving the rock to James Conner it just kills me. It just
I
blows
agree.
my mind.
You need the balance.
Yes.
In this game, Conner only rushed for 13 carries for 53 yards. Ben, 41 of 56 for 462 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. 56 attempts is way too much.
And with 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
400-plus yards, 1 touchdown.
1 touchdown and 2 crucial mistakes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They basically gave this game away. And then now the defense did all right. They did okay, but no turnovers by Denver. No. And when you lose the turnover, what was it? Basically the Grimble thing was a turnover. I don't care, what the stats say. So you have the Conner fumble, the 2 interceptions, then the Grimble thing. That's 4-0, and they don't have any turnovers at all. That's why you win.
Yeah. And this is real. This is on me. This might blow your mind. Case Keenum came in today, 8 straight games with a pick, 8 straight games with an interception, and the Steelers don't do.
There you go. Steelers defense, a good cure for making bad quarterbacks look good.
I mean, and it's Case Keenum.
I know. That's the thing. Yeah, he's not good. He's just not good, and it was obvious this game. He's not good, but there were times where they just drove down the field. It made it look super easy.
I mean that one after it was after Conner fumbled 2 plays and they're in the end zone. There you go. It's just did they just forget to play? I mean it's just, and I might be Terrell Edmonds might need to find a bench here soon, and he's been getting attacked recently especially the last 2 weeks. He's been getting beat up. And Joe Hayden had his worst game as a Steeler for sure today. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders, it just blew by him, and he's no spring.
He did. I mean, there were some where he could have had some huge plays, but Keenan missed on him. So, not a good game for Hayden. Like I said, I think the altitude had a lot to do with it, especially toward the end. You're fighting that. You're fighting to breathe, and down in the third or fourth quarter, that's going to wear down on you. So I think that might have something to do with it. But now their schedule gets even tougher. They play. They host the Chargers next Sunday night, and that could. I mean, the Chargers are really good. So
one good thing about that is Melvin Gordon went down today. Not good for my fantasy team, of course, but that's another thing to talk about another day. But good for the Steelers. He has looks like an MCL sprain, so looks like he might not be ready for the game next week. So that's actually a huge help. But Philip Rivers today, 15 years in the league, and he went 28 for 29 passing. He set the most consecutive passing streak today with 25 straight completions to start the game. So they, I was, flipping through when the Steelers, commercials, and Philip Rivers is slinging a sidearm to Antonio Gates and who knows who else is on that team right now, but they're just keep winning. And that's going to be a tough game for the Steelers. And after that, I think they have the Saints, and then they have the Patriots. So Murderers Row is a understatement right here.
Yeah. Yeah, it went from, will the Steelers get a first-round bye to, I think they're going to win the division and make the playoffs, but it's not going to be easy. You have an easy game against the Raiders, probably an easy game against the Bengals, but then Chargers, Patriots, Saints, that's rough. So you might be looking at another 3 losses. Who knows? So, yeah, they could have really used this one, but hey, the way I see it, they won 6 in a row. Really, they should have lost that game last week against the Jaguars.
Oh yeah, they should be on a 2-game losing streak right now if it wasn't for the Jaguars' offense being completely inept of moving a football forward. If this was rugby, they might have a chance, but that team is a mess. And Leonard Fournette, he's throwing punches and getting thrown out of games today, and Blake Bortles has 87 yards passing. It's just a mess.
Couldn't happen to a better bunch of people.
Exactly. Yeah, that defense is just they're reckless. Jalen Ramsey's calling guys trash on the sideline, and it's just such a good team to watch just blow up.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Steven Bristow at Steelers Frenzy on Twitter. Thanks a lot. Let's do this again sometime.
Thanks, Joe.
With me to talk about the weekend in football and some other stuff are regulars Mark Hagelauer and Coach Warzu. Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, great weekend for Pittsburgh football. Woo.
That was very Bill Lumberg of you right there. That was great.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I'm gonna need those reports. Yeah.
We don't want the reports on this game.
Yeah.
The report cards are.
Yeah, compounding it, with Pitt makes it even.
Yeah.
Look, I know that game didn't mean anything, but
just very disappointing over the weekend.
You thought maybe Pitt might be good. maybe they'd have a good year. That's still a successful year, but it's just not looking good for them. Oh God. So let's talk about that professional football team. Oh boy. Steelers lose 24-17 in a game where they basically just gave it away. That's how I view it. Not that Denver didn't play terrible. They were okay, but there's so many points that just were given away, and it's just so frustrating. I don't know.
Yeah, given away, left on the board, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the Connor fumble, and Mark was saying, it's not like that really was the lone play that lost the game. I completely agree. You got Grimble, playing the contact instead of just sidestepping a guy right into the end zone. You got the whole opening drive field goal. Just a bunch of points left on the board and penalties that they got to clean up.
Yeah, they should have easily had another 10 points, and then if you take into Connor's fumble, that could have been at least another field goal, if not a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're that whole terrible play calling at the end of the game probably doesn't even happen if Connor holds on to that football. They wear the clock down more, and maybe they can get a score. Either way on that possession changes the game, whether it's a field goal or a touch. I think at that point they were rolling, the momentum was going. They probably would have punched it in, I think.
Yeah, they definitely had some momentum then.
Is it time to be concerned about Connor or the running game? It's been 2 games in a row that he hasn't had a great game.
More or less his inability to hold on to the football in crunch time right now is concerning to me. I know that.
I don't know. His stats weren't horrible running. They just didn't run the ball for whatever god-awful reason. I don't understand that.
That's what I don't understand. They didn't.
And Denver supposedly
run the game.
The run,
I just think that was more so the strength of Denver's defense this year, and it was more so the front, and it was going to be tough to run on them. I think it was going to be a little easier to spread them out and pass it as opposed to the past 3, 4, 5 years.
I don't mind because they were productive, but even they said there, I don't know, that I guess the Jets ran for a crap load of yards against them last week, and the Jets don't have nearly the offensive line the Steelers do. But I was more so when we tied the game, when the game was tied, or we were up by a touchdown after Juju, it was like, well, it didn't last very long, but it was, the game's tied. They could have thrown some runs in there instead of throwing so often, and maybe it would have, it could have worked.
How much of the lack of running was due to a rookie tackle playing his very first game against some of the best defensive linemen in the game?
I mean, the game plan, sure, but man, he played pretty damn well.
He did. You barely heard about Von Miller or Chubb.
I'm still not so sure that one sack Miller guy wasn't offsides. That was.
Look.
Oh, you kidding me?
I was like,
he's so offsides.
I know. I was like, they're saying he looks offsides, but he might not be, and I'm like, it looked like he was offsides to me.
You either are offsides or you are not offsides.
Yeah, it looks like he's off. Well, Tony, it appears as though he's offsides because he actually was offsides by about 2 yards.
I don't want to say he was offsides, but he was in the huddle with the Steelers offense.
I mean, he almost could have taken the snap.
Seriously.
Look like I'll tell you what, he's so fast. It looks like he's offsides every play. Well, no, that's Tony. That's actually because he's much offsides.
He's offsides.
That's funny. Yeah, I was like, are you kidding me? I was like yelling at the TV as typical I do.
It's like saying guys who used to block Harrison had great leverage.
Oh, yeah.
They're holding him every play.
They're holding him every single play.
Which they're starting to do to Dupree a whole lot now. He drew another holding penalty this week. He would have another set, like 3 sacks taken away from him by some blatant holdings.
Yeah. The Xavier Grimble play, I'm
that made no sense to me.
I'm so angry for it. It's just so. Well, first of all, I think the rule is stupid. Like,
you should have to fumble.
You fumble like. Look, I went
to the end zone, and then all of a sudden the other team gets it. Surprise! Yeah, that's a dumb rule. It's been a dumb rule for years.
Yeah,
you have to get control of the ball. I never liked that, no matter if it goes your way or the other way.
But this is what Grimble said about that. Quote, he didn't surprise me at all. I saw him coming. I could have cut back and scored, but I wanted to run right through him. I was probably too aggressive. That's what happened, unfortunately. Oh, so instead of scoring a touchdown, you decided to be a macho man, and let's see how that worked out. You selfish. That's Le'Veon Bell levels of selfishness right there.
I wonder if the situation with it being early in the game, if it would have changed, if he would have decided, you know what I mean, being maybe in the but it's late in the fourth quarter. He's like, I'm getting the points. I'm not trying to punish this guy, you know?
I think it's just that he's a piece of crap.
It was silly. It wasn't smart, but I mean, odds are you're probably not going to fumble that anyway. That was a weird.
Anybody that has ever said I could have scored, but instead I did something else, you're basically go play tennis, go play golf, go play some individual sport. Then, dude, you're in a team sport where you guys are killing each other to try to win the game, and you have an opportunity to score a touchdown, and you decide to be a tough guy and see if you could just out muscle somebody. Thanks a lot.
Hey, listen, anybody that had James Conner, Antonio, Juju, anybody like that on their fantasy team, I mean, they're hoping, hey, somehow that gets leaked out at the 2, and boom, that's more fantasy points, and they're thanking Grimble.
It's exactly what I thought was going to happen. It's like, okay, he didn't make the end zone. He didn't make a touchdown. Fine. Put the ball at the 1 yard line or the half yard line or something like that. No, they get the ball at the 20. Like, what?
Yeah, that's always been silly. And unfortunately, that wasn't the first. That was the first of multiple mistakes by the Steelers.
A plethora of stupid mistakes.
Yes, it was a plethora.
I think that the altitude had something to do with it. I